In 2023, I created a print-on-demand company from scratch with only $650 in under 2 weeks. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it, what the product was, and exactly how much I made. So if you can't copy the strategy and make money for yourself, then I don't really know what to tell you. Okay, so step number one, that's choosing my product. So first of all, how did I decide on the product that I ended up going with? Well, just like a lot of these print-on-demand guys, I went over to Etsy. Trust me, if you want to find some genius ideas, scroll through Etsy. So I looked at hoodies, I looked at t-shirts, I looked at phone cases, I looked at all the types of print-on-demand products that I could possibly think of and saw what people on Etsy were doing with them. And then after hours and hours of research, I found it. But it wasn't on Etsy. So I was at the gym and I saw this couple wearing like the most cheesiest hoodie ever, but it was basically a picture of them, but the outline of it as if it'd been hand drawn with a pencil. And that was my light bulb moment. And as cheesy as I knew it was and as cringy as I thought it was, I knew there was gonna be couples out there that absolutely loved it. So it was time to do some research. So I started looking at what was already out there and what sort of companies and competitors were already selling this exact product. And I came across a company called Just Line. So Just Line was selling this exact product mainly to people in the States. And I looked into how much they were making on shophunter.io, and they were making an absolute killing. So this just validated the idea to me even more. By this point, I was completely sold that this was the product that I wanted to go with. It was cool, it was unique, it was personalized, and to top it all off, it was sentimental. And sentimental products usually create really loyal customers for your brand. So I started off just like most of you would. I Googled print-on-demand suppliers. I checked out all the big names. I looked at Gelato, I looked at Printful, I looked at Printify. And after looking at all the different hoodie options, I decided that embroidered hoodies was definitely the way to go. And I found that the best supplier that was offering embroidered in terms of quality and price was Printful. So step two is finally done. Now I have a supplier who's gonna fulfill the embroidered hoodies when I get a sale, but now I need a digital designer who can take a normal image and turn it into this hand-drawn looking line design. So I headed right over to Upwork and I posted a job with example images of exactly the type of designer that I need and what sort of design that I need fulfilled, and a bunch of people applied. So I just asked a load of them to provide me samples, and I gave them some stock images and asked them to do a test run with me. And after doing that with a few freelancers, I picked one that was the best. And so with this freelancer, I negotiated back and forth a bit and we agreed on $4 for every single design I purchased from them. And we also agreed that every single order will have a lead time of no more than 40 hours to fulfill, which means that every single customer I get through my website won't have to wait more than 2 days before I email them a digital copy of their artwork. All right, so at this point, I've got my supplier, I've got my designer, I've got most of the things I need, things are going to plan. Now what I need to do is actually order some samples from my supplier to make sure it actually looks nice when it arrives. And this is how it came out. So it actually came out a lot nicer than I thought. And if you feel it, you can tell it's embroidered. It's pretty high quality. And I also ordered a maroon one as well, just because I want to offer different colors, and a green one, but this one I put a pet on it, which came out really nice actually. Just so pet owners have the option of putting their pet on, kind of wearing it, which is a bit cheesy, but some people want to do it. So I wanted a seriously high quality website to go with this brand because I knew that I was going to have to retail this at a pretty steep price. And in order to do that, I needed to give off some seriously high quality brand perception. And so because I had so many other projects going on at this time, I didn't want to have to spend hours designing the website myself. So I just headed over to Fiverr.com and I found a freelancer that was willing to do it for $80. And the trick is I gave them so much instructions. I mean, I gave them a document filled with information on the type of website that I wanted. I gave them example websites. I gave them things that I wanted included. So it was very hard for them to mess it up. And there's only so much that a freelancer can do because at the end of the day, to give off a high quality brand image, you need some really good photography in them. And I didn't want to have a professional photo shoot that was going to cost thousands. So in the end, I just found some stock images online and I took the designs of the line and just edited them in using Canva. And for some of the images, I even used Placeit, which is a great way to put in your design onto hoodies and t-shirts. And now you can check out the website yourself. Just go on pixothreads.com. And if you are wondering, yes, ChatGPT did come up with a name for this one. But honestly, I like both the name and the website. I think it came out pretty good. And pretty much all the text on the website was written by ChatGPT. Okay, so now let's break down our margins so we know exactly how profitable we are for this. So the cost for each hoodie on Printful is $44. And when we include our designer's fee, which is $4 per edit, that means our cost of goods sold is $48. And to be honest, this is a lot higher than I wanted when I first came up with the idea, but this was the cost of a high quality hoodie that was embroidered. And so I decided to retail this at $89.99. And I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, wow, that's like insanely steep. But trust me, there's a lot of couples out there that are willing to pay that money to gift their partner something special. And so in the end, that means that the profit for every sale is approximately $37.99, which is not too bad. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the marketing that I did for this brand and how I got sales. So the first thing that I needed was UGC content. So what I did is I headed over to Billo.app and I found some creators in the States that had a boyfriend, and I shipped them a unit and asked them to gift their partner the product and film the whole experience. And boom, now I had some videos of some Billo creators that actually gifted it to their partner and made it look like somewhat of a sentimental product. And meanwhile, whilst those Billo creators were actually making the UGC content, I went off and created my own other videos using some stock footage and some images, and I also created a bunch of image ads. So the plan for marketing was to run ads on Facebook and Instagram, and I was going to budget it to $65 a day. I was going to launch one ABO campaign and have 10 ad sets inside of that with a bunch of different creatives. And by this point, I had already spent $200 on samples, on Billo, and on Fiverr, so I only had $450 left to run ads with. Now, I ran the campaign for 7 days in total, and throughout those days, if anything was under a CTR of 1, which is click-through rate, I just turned off that ad. And for the ads that just weren't performing and weren't getting any sales, but I was spending too much on them, again, I just turned it off. So that way, as the days went on, I was kind of keeping on the winners and trying to remove the losers. And now it's time to talk about the final results that came from this. So from the $450 that I spent in that week running ads, I managed to achieve 18 sales on the store, which is a lot better than I anticipated. And the cost per purchase of the campaign in total was $25 per purchase, which is a lot lower than I anticipated. And I think that over time, because I turned off the ads that were just burning through cash, I think that managed to get the overall cost per purchase a lot lower by the end of the week. So the revenue generated for that week was $1,619. The cost of goods sold was $864. And as you know, we spent $450 on the ads, which in total means that we profited $303.82 in that week. And to be honest, this performance is a lot better than I anticipated in week 1. And honestly, most of the performance came from this ad.
I've always wanted to make a custom hoodie like this, so I got one for me and my man.
I got you a gift, and I think you're gonna love it.
The design is embroidered into the hoodie, which is so soft and warm. He was so in love with it. You just upload your favorite photo and they do all the magic for you. Get yours too at PixoThreads.
Now, they're not crazy numbers, but there's definitely room to improve to make the profitability a lot better. And the first thing that I started to do was to make more ads that were similar themed to the one that you just watched. Because we know that these type of ads work and they got us a lot of sales, so why not make more of a similar theme? And I also offered a volume discount on the website because most couples want to get matching hoodies, so they'll buy more than one. So I made an offer that if they buy 2, they can save $30. And so what that does is it increases average order value, which just makes me more profitable on the store. And I also added a t-shirt option so that every single time they add a hoodie to the cart, a t-shirt would pop up and say, do you want a matching t-shirt for a significantly cheaper price? And again, increases average order value, makes it more profitable. So these sort of tactics over time will begin to increase the profitability of the store. So let's go through my final thoughts. Now, this was not the first print-on-demand product I'd sold on Shopify. I had done this numerous times, but my previous success in the print-on-demand space was selling customized canvas art. And so from that experience and this experience, I can tell you that print on demand is definitely not dead. In fact, I think it's more popular now than ever, and there's so much room for creativity and growth. And the best thing about it is your customers aren't going to be waiting weeks to get their product, just like they would from an AliExpress supplier. And from the process I went through today, I can tell you that the design that you pick is absolutely essential, and that you definitely should use Billo to get some good UGC content, because that will help you make really good ads. I can tell you with certainty that the thing that's going to contribute to your success the most in print on demand is the idea that you come up with. You can be really creative. You can think of things that have just been untapped. Think of things that are customized, unique, quirky, different. You can even scroll through Etsy to come up with inspiration. But I assure you that the design that you come up with is going to be the biggest contributor to your success. So guys, I hope you found some value in this video. I spent a lot of time trying to make these perfect for you guys because I want them to be valuable, entertaining, and educational. And if you're new to the channel, I make e-commerce related videos and share things that I have learned in my journey building successful e-commerce brand. And so I'd really appreciate it if you guys can comment, like, and subscribe, because it helps me with the algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next one.